Hello guys, welcome to the channel. So I brought this code over here. I was recording the video, but it was error in that, so the video didn't record it. So I'm recording it now again for you guys. Yeah, I know I'm here after a long period of time, but we will be continuing this channel again. I came back to this channel again, and I almost quit the YouTube, but now I'm coming back, and my hard drive is damaged or something is problem is there. In that way I can't do the game development, major game development stuff, but maybe I will give you a bit of doing it a little bit of not making a big project because I don't have much storage. So let's get started over here. You can see the Visual Studio 2022. I want to learn C++. Yeah, I know there is C++ is I'm already have a playlist on my channel teaching you C++. There are 7 videos, but if you want to, you are not getting anything. If you are not getting anything, it's getting a lot more difficult for you to understand major stuff, or you just want a quick reason every single thing, like even the back end, like how it is working in behind the scenes. Go and check out the 7 videos will teach you how it is working. But now in this video it will going to be a long one or 2 hours long. I will going to sum up all the major C++ things that a beginner should know to get started in the world of game development or software engineering or even a competitive programming. What is the main stuff that you need to know? Gonna teach in this video, and we are also going to make 2 projects, as well as we are going to also gonna give you 2 projects to do by your own, and just get the project, upload it on GitHub. If you don't know GitHub, just go and learn it, or even if you want to me to make a tutorial on GitHub, so you can go in the description, not in the description, sorry, comment section, and tell me to make a tutorial on Git and the GitHub, so I can get that and push it your code over there, or you can mail me the code. I will send you the mail in my email ID will be in description, so you can check that out. Whatever you want to do, just do it and tell me. I will review and I will tell you what are the mistakes, but how I can human improve it. And if you didn't got that, the manager to upload the code. I will see, I will fix it. We are going to learn game development as well as software engineering stuff together. So let's do it. Now here's some code that I returned. Now let's see, we'll just code work. Yeah, it code works and it shows us Visual Studio 2022. That's what I'm using. Oh yeah. Now so let's see, we are going to understand every single line. If you're not getting anything, no problem. We are going to understand every single line, even every single word in the line. That what does that word mean? We are also going to learn that. Alright, so let's see. Now include. Include first line there is include means normal English word, just including, we are including some files, some header files or some actual libraries, some stuff like that we are including there. Even we are using angular bracket for inbuilt functions here, or sorry, inbuilt libraries, not functions. If there is an inbuilt library like IOStreams, then we are going to use these angular brackets, otherwise we are going to use normal what, okay, but there are, we didn't specify any path to it, did we? No, we didn't specify any path. We just write the name of the file and it is importing it or including it, whatever you want to say. It is including it. That's it. But that's what its line tell us about. Now let's go to the second line. It is a function integer main. It's actually a function is which we will learn further in our video, but now for now you can say it like it is just a main heart, you can say. Without it the program will not run. Okay, if you can say it like that. If there is nothing like this, nothing is gonna work. Okay, now there is this thing in this line. There is a std means standard. It is a standard library. IOStream is a standard library. We are using it standard cout. It's cout, not out. It is cout. Cout means computer out. Okay, means standard inside the standard sorry inside the standard namespace, run the count cout sorry not count cout function or macro, whatever that is behind the scenes. Run that and print me this string, whatever I just put there. This I want this string to be out, and over here same standard, but it is and l. And means line, which will end the line, and we will jump over to the next line. Whatever code is gonna run after this is gonna run into the next line. So that is what this end L is like. If you are gonna see it, you can see there is a blank line. Now if we just skip this thing, if we just skip this thing and try to run the program, there is no black line. Okay, there is no black line, so that what is giving us to go to the next line. Now where return 0 is just, it's actually not compulsory, it is just, is this function will return 0. 0 will false, null, whatever you want to say, but it will return nothing. Nil. It will not return, gonna return anything. It's something like that. We will understand about this further while we are going to learn functions that will make us clear about this even more. Alright, I'm sorry if I speak a bit less, so I'm gonna say my teeth is paining if there is some problem in my teeth. Chalo, no problem. Let's do it for you guys. I'm doing it for you. Now this is the main thing that we did. Now we understood every single thing about like what is including, what is not functions, how to print the stuff. Now there's now is there anything that computer only just give us the output? The computer also give us an input. Yeah, that's what IO means. Stream means stream, but IO over here means input. I means input, O means output, input and output. Okay, so we understood about the output. Now let's understand about the input. Let's see. Now you just seen like I did something like this, and this tutorial is completely for beginners. So you see a bit of ASL stuff that you already know. I'm telling it in detail, so no problem. You can just get a revision or you can skip that part. Okay. Now you just listen. You just seen like I did something like this. Okay. Now what is this? These are comments. Now these are not used much in the smaller projects, but you can use them. Comments are just comments. We are just commenting stuff out. It is nothing like a program. Whatever you want to type in there, we're gonna work. Nothing is there. Okay, but it should be in this line. This is a single line comment. But what if you want to do like this thing? You want to do it like this. Now you want this thing to be as commented, but you can't write it in a single line because it's too much. Now you can go with this thing. Sorry, it's not working. What's the shortcut key in this? I don't know. Just I did like this. Okay. So this was it. Whatever you're going to put inside this thing is going to be commented, not this. You can see from here till the end over here. This is, we are starting it from here, ending it over here. Whatever comes in between these are going to be commented. So these are the comments. This is, that was a multi-line comment and this was a single line comment. Sorry. So they are comment helpful in when making a big project. So their project will not only, you are not only going to work on that project, even there are a lot of big teams that sharing the code, and if you want someone to understand your code, you shouldn't reading the code again and again and again and again. It's just they will comment and he just knew this function is doing this thing is doing this thing, this condition is doing this. Alright, I just got that. Doesn't need to read whole code and understand it. Alright, but that is compulsory, that is important, not because you can say that is important to do if you need to be a best program in the world. So we're gonna do that. Okay. Now we need to talk about the inputs. Okay. There's one more thing about the comment that is like what is the another use of comments? Like you can just whatever you're working on a big project, not a big project, a medium intermediate project you're working on it. And after 1 to a few years, you can after a few years you come back and check out the source code. You will see, oh, why I'm doing this? What is this? What is this? Why is I did that? Because in that particular 1 to 2 years or a few years, you gain more experience, you learn more new stuff. Your writing, the way you write, it has been changed. You are need that. That's why you need comment. Now you just came back and you are completely back about this project. You just read the comment. Oh, okay, this is doing this thing. Oh, this condition is doing this. Oh, this function is doing this. It will be easier for you as well as the other programmers to understand the code. Okay, whatever you want to write, you can write in there. Doesn't matter. So these are the comments. Now let's talk about the input. Input is like this. Now let me take an input and I will explain it later on. Okay. Whoa. Now I wrote this much code. This is while taking an input. Now what I just did. Integer. It is a data type. If you want to learn about the data, I'm not going to tell you about that data types in this video. If you want to learn the data types, go and check out the playlist there. I have just explained data types in depth. Literally everything that you need to learn about data types. I explained it. So here's an integer data type. The character string, like in C sharp, there are arrays, a lot of different data types there are. So I have to explain every single one of them in that video. Now I just declared a variable. Variable is what? Variable is nothing but just a name. Like it will be even more easier for you to understand if you watch all of the videos. It will be a lot much easier for you to understand this code, and you will get, oh, that's why he just did that, or okay, this is doing, and that can just perform this much stuff. In short, I can say, like, have you seen a RAM and there are slots into the RAM, not in the hard copy, in the software, and the operating system whole functionality is doing. There's something like 888, like 888, like this thing, something like that, something like this. You haven't seen that. Okay, this is the name of the location onto where that particular variable or that particular value has been stored. But now if I have to use a thousand times in the program, and not I'm going to use this thing every single time. I'm not mad, like wasting all of that for this, and it is going to result into thousand millions of variables in a big project, and you're going to be thousand millions of these kind of code that you have to remember. You're not going to remember. No one can remember about that. So that's why we are using this variable. Is just whatever value has been stored into this. This is just an example, not actually it is. It's just an example. Whatever value has been stored into it, put a name a. Means whenever I call a, he should give me the value which is to has been stored into this particular thing. It is something like that. Okay, I am explained it with depth in that playlist. Just go and check out that. The link will be in the description. You can go and check that out. And here what we are doing is standard C input. C in is computer input. Computer is going to take the input. Oh, now you are going to see like while we are outputting, I just use the angular brackets like this. But now while inputting, we are doing it like this. It is just a syntax. You can just remember it like output, but whatever output is, we have to print this should be get into this. Okay, and what we are going to take input should be inside of it. It's getting the value and it is just when the arrow like it is going inside A. That what actually is happening. Whatever value we put through it is storing into A. That's why we used it. We can't do it like integer like over here. It is just going to throw an error. We can't do it like that. That's why we need another line. Or even we can just put a default value, we put an input by using a condition that we are going to learn further in this video. Sorry, like that. So that what is happening here is out this thing is putting inside this means output देनी है इस चीज की. I just said that in Hindi to make you understand even more. हमको आउटपुट ये जो चीज हमको दी हुई है इसकी हमको आउटपुट देनी है. ये चीज कंप्यूटर आउटपुट देगा जो हमने उसको वैल्यू दी हुई है जो कि वैल्यू है ये. अब ये वैल्यू हमने यहाँ पे डाल दी, हाँ टाइप कर ली, खाली टाइप होगी. बट ये कहीं ना कहीं उसके पीछे अगर हम हवा करते हैं अब लिखा हुआ है कॉस्ट है 19 is 19 characters are there. Actually if you are going to count then there will be 20 but it starts from 0 in the array that we are going to learn further in the video. I'm telling you a little bit fast. We have to complete that. A lot of stuff is there, so that's why I'm doing this. So it is printing the A value. Now let's see, will this program work? Let's check it out. I just put one maybe and it shows me 3. It worked. We print the value. Now if we add in 2 and 3 or let's add 1. Whatever value you're going to put, it will add 1 into it. Let's run it. See, yo. This is a basic thing. This is an arithmetic operation like you can do like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. Sorry. Multiplication multiplication and there's one more like that is this is for round. You will also get that while getting screen. This is a major new one that you don't know. What is it? In the mathematics it is known as percentage sign of percentage. It is known as sign of percentage. Wait, if you're not getting that, you can see now it is more clear. It's a sign of percentage. Okay, so it is not actually percentage in this C or in programming generally. It is known as, it is called as, you can say like it is called as modular. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong, maybe I don't know. Modular, maybe. Just sign of modular. Modular means modding. Modding means it will just give us exact number with we are modding with is an even or odd, like that. That's what we are going to do in our first project after learning the conditions. We are going to make a project which is going to be, we are going to tell that are we eligible for having a social media account. That what's the condition to do for that is we should be 18 plus, or now currently in the world you can say like 16 plus. That what you can say, but currently they are 12 10 years having account. But we are going to get the small product, are we eligible or not, we will use modular sign while do that. And if you know something else, some other way to write that, create the program, you can also create that. Send me, mail me, or just put it into GitHub and tell me about the code. Just comment about the link. Just comment the link so I can just check that out. So let's go further on. Now there is, we're going to learn about the conditions first of all. Now if means if, that's else means else. There is an else if, means else if and else if. There is a lot of else if, there's a lot much there. Not actually, these are not in this programming language, these are in other languages. Just they are mainly these three. Okay, if it happens in this sequence, if else this and then else, it is in this sequence. If, of course, we know that if the condition, right, the format is like this. Okay, but while the else you can just put it return whatever you want to do with whatever you want to do, you can. Okay, but in the else we don't need condition, but if these both get false, the condition, the returns false. When condition is not satisfied, it will run else, or if there is no else whatever the code, it will just skip this and run the code. It's doing like that. Okay, so we don't need any condition, but else if we need condition, wherever if we need a condition. If, how we are going to put a condition, like let's create a basic program that will help us understand it, in which we are going to print the odd and even basic thing. std in input. Alright, so there we created an integer variable we are putting into the input, and when we have an input, we will check that if we are going to check if, sorry, we are going to check input modular 2 equal to 0, will, that is 0, we are going to count a1 as well as the input. I will explain down here, every single line of code like I did before. Else just count odd input, just like that. Okay, now let's see. We took the input to clear, but that's now I told you about the modulus. What it will do. For example, I put an input of 1. What it will do is, one modulus 2, it will divide 1 with 2. While dividing, we focus it on our quotient, but while mod on the mod, we focus it on the remainder. What is remaining quotient? What is the remaining value? What is the remainder? We will put that. What it will do? For example, there is a 1 modulus 2 means if we divide 1 with 2, it will, the remainder will of course not going to be 0. So it will throw, if it is gonna be 1, or they will just throw on. So we just know it is not 0. So what if we write not 0 equals to 0? What do you mean by that? Means not 0 is equal to, what is this mean? Means not 0 is equal to 0. Doesn't make sense. But what if we put it this? These are known as the logical operators. If you want to know about the logical operators, also given into that playlist, go and check that out. We have seen all of the logical operators. Sorry, we don't have much time, so I'm not explaining much of them, like this, which is not equal to this, equal to. I will explain this, I explain that over there, so you can go check that out. Now it's, this thing is returning over here, means it will be false, cause this value has not been getting equal to 0, so the condition got false. If the condition got false, it will go to else and print odd. And that input was 1 and 1 is actually odd. But what if there will be 2? The remainder will be 0 because 2, 1, 2. 1 will be the quotient, 0 will be the remainder because 2 has been cancelled. So it just condition got true. It will return even as well as our input whatever the value is. Now you are going to ask me like what I just did over here this thing. We can add just angular brackets, arrows, and after that whatever variable, whatever value you want to add, just add it, and after that end it with this semicolon. It is compulsory to end it with semicolon. You can add any amount of the values you want to add. Okay, so just you need to add this, add the value, add this, add the value. Let me do that. This is the input that we got. Now what if I try to run the code and put a value of 1 that we took an example before. 1, it shows us odd and then 1. Wait, let me get like this to make it more clear. Or we can just do it like this to make it look more clear. 1, 1 is an odd. If we try to run the code again, we put 2, 2 is an even. If we put some random number, shouldn't be this a random number, it throws us an odd. But now you had seen like we just put a lot much bigger value, but he just took this value. But why? Even this value is going to be out from that integer. So for that we need to look long in. They are I told you about all that in that playlist. So now what if I try to run it? What will it do with the bigger value? It did the same thing. I don't know why, but I told you I give you also an example and I just explained that in there. But over here, this long int will store more value than this normal default integer. Okay. So I don't know maybe why it was, maybe because of this thing we are putting it over there. I don't know. It isn't doing some different value. I don't know why it is. But AR code is working actually. So we just put some value and there is a 9 at the end. 9 means it is going to be the odd. It is an odd. But now what if I try to put some random number with an even number at the end? It is still showing us an odd. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. Let's check that out. Why it's doing that? It just took to 1474. Oh, okay, okay. Whatever the value is, if we give value more than this, it is taking this value. We can't give more than this value. So try to give him less than that value, like a bigger value as oh, and it should be the same one. I don't know why it is still doing that input thing. Maybe it is printing some different input. We can just put it as an underscore for our particular input thing. Now so try to run the code. Sorry. Even yeah, it works. Now so try to give a bigger value. Oh, still he did that. I don't know why. Maybe some new changes are there in the new C++ version 2022. Maybe it's there. For sorry for that. Let me quit that also first of all. So this is a condition that we put. Now you also got a hint about that age one that we are going to create, and we are going to create it in two different ways, in two different methods. Method number one. Method number one is going to be method number one and method number two. First of all, let's get with the method number one, which is going to be our normal before one, as we did. If there is an integer age, something like that, and age maybe, yeah, age. We can just put take an input for age, say in age, age is if age is more than, if age is less than or equals to 17, if age is less than or equals to 17, means it is clear to this less than or equal to 17. If that is true, std say out just print under like not illegal, not allowed, or something like that. Else std out allowed, something like that. Okay. This thing. Now you can, I didn't use the regular bracket, but if there is only one single line of code to be executed after the condition, you can just use this. Even if loop, while looping, you can also do it like that, like we did before in this. I just put the space in between there, so it looks fine to me. That's fine. Okay, so this was the method number one, and let's just test this method. And will this work? What is it? Will it work? Let's test it out. They are 10, 23. I use 23. It allowed me. Okay, but there is one more thing that you can do. Haven't you done that? Or just say that. It's got that you can experiment like that. You can just that was like we can just put cow before seeing, and just we can tell him enter your age, something like that, and after that we are taking it into the age, something like that. Wait, let me show you. Enter your age. What it will do enter your age, allow मतलब कितनी age की होती नहीं है, no problem. If I put the age 17 or 13, 16, whatever, let's 16, not allowed. It shows us not allowed, which is also okay. But what if by mistake someone puts like this? It is showing us not allowed. It's not telling us like this is not allowed. It is telling us you are not allowed. But it is not a number, so we shouldn't take the input. Then what we can do? What we can do is we can add another condition. While in age is more than or equal to 18, just run the code and allow. Else, just put an out at you enter please enter number string not allowed, something like that. We can just put it there. Right now what it will do, if you put some random number, it is showing us not allowed, again not allowed, it's showing us. But that what it shouldn't do that. Not do that. So run it again. Why? Age is an integer. I don't know, maybe there are a lot of changes in that. This not allowed. Still I'm not getting it. It should work. Maybe the new version have there. Just doing the sky coding, calculation, like they are taking the sky code from the string and converting into an integer. It will convert automatically. Oh, I got that. They just copied the Python or some newer programming languages like before it was completely typecasted. Okay, but now they are doing it automatically. There is a backend automatically typecasting. You don't need to do it. It will automatically do that, like in JavaScript, Python. The new programming language is having that thing. That's why we are not getting it done. So no props here, no props. We just launch up older C++ thing. And yeah, if you are going to use it in C++ 17 or 17, it will definitely going to work. You can go check that out also. So we'll take about to look at the method number 2. First of all, let's comment the whole thing. We'll get rid of that. Okay. Let's talk about the method number 2. And the method number 2 is going to be our age, integer age, or just leave the method number 2. It is actually just similar, completely similar to that. You know, grind, but we are going to use the boolean in that. And even let's give it, you have an homework to create the same age program but using boolean type data type. This is what your homework is to do. Alright, this is what you have to do. Now we are going to learn about the for loops. What are the for loops? For loops. There are first of all loops. There are a lot of different types of loops like for loop, a while loop. They are mainly to for a while loop and to have it plus a while if while I don't know, I'm not getting them. Let me check. Let's check that. Types of loop in C++. They're majorly for loop and while loop. These are the main two. Yeah, while loop, for loop, do while loop, and nested loop. Let's look with a very easy but complex topic and have to read that mindset which will help you understand this, and my playlist is going to help you understand that mind formation will. Okay, so do while loop. Yeah, do while loop. If this is the syntax of do while loop, what we will do, do this thing. What it will do, we will check out the difference. First of all, let's see the difference. Let's do a do while loop, and statement is going to be if, sorry, just print std out number just like that. Here is the condition if number is less than or equal to 100, or is less than, the number is less than 101, or yeah, we can just use it like this. And integer number equal to 1, number increment, this is an increment, and there is this thing which is known as decrement. Every single setting, it will, whenever this do while loop will run, it will increment the number by 1 and it will decrement the number by increment the number by 1. Yeah, you can also do it like equal to 1 or 2, whatever value, it will decrease it by that particular value. So you can just increment it because we are going to reach it to 101, maybe just 100, because it's less than 101 is not going to consider that. Now there is one more thing, sorry, this thing, yeah. If it will do this while this condition is true, now let's try to run the code and see what it will do. It just did 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 until the 100. It just did that. That's good. Okay, but what if I do the same thing with the while number is less than 101? Just start doing this. Okay, I want to do something like this. What it will do, 100 to 1 to 100. It just did that, 1 to 100. Okay, number, wait, let's create one more thing like num has to be one and put everywhere num. And it's not working like this. No, like that. Okay, let's see. One, and we just printing it again and again and again. See, we started from one again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 100. Now you think it is the same thing. Nothing has been changed, and why should we lose this thing, or why should we use this thing? I can just do this or this. Whatever you want to you can. But there is a condition like what this is going to do. It is going to check the condition later on. What it will do? First of all, it will execute the code, and then it will check out the condition. But this first what is going to check out the condition, and then will execute the code. Okay. Now, if I did this thing, like implementing it now, you're saying nothing has been changed. It will increment it and printing it same, nothing has been changed, but it will print just later on. But you are wrong here. But if I did it like here, nothing is going to, we are not going to see much difference in different place. But we are going to see a massive difference over here. So try to run it. Well, we see the difference. Well, we see. Start with 2, and if we go down, 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 it will start with 2. But here we go in 101. But while getting it down, you will see it as 101, because it is incrementing it before and after that it will printing it. That's why it is doing this thing. But over here, what it will do stuff, then it will check stuff. For example, if in the starting the condition is false, for example, if it is less than or equal to 1, or we can say it is greater than or equal to 1, greater than 1, not less than, greater than 1, it will print it. We wanted to, if it is greater than 1, that one we need to print it. But let's just see the difference. What it is doing? What it is doing is just printing again and again and again. Why? But what if it's comment this thing? Now if you try to run that, see, it's printing again and again and again. We just pause it. See, it started to. But what if we just do this thing? Comment that code. What it will do? It will print nothing. Nothing. Now why? Because in this it will do, while let's first of all let's understand now the simple value. What is it going to do? It will check the condition. Condition is less than 1. Yeah, num is 1. It is more than 1. Yeah, no, it is not more than 1. It is 1. It is not greater than 1. Then the condition got false. False. It will never gonna get into the loop. It will just exit out of the loop and it just run the code. It will be over here, whatever that is. Okay, but this is going, what this code is going to do is going to do, we are telling him to do this. Number is 1, we incremented it, but the number is 2. Now it will print 2. Now but it was down. Now if there is a condition, the number is greater than 1, yeah, of course the number is greater than 1 because it's 2. But now you're going to say the condition was true. It will start doing again and again and again, never gonna end. But the condition is never going to get failed and never is going to get out of the loop. But you're going to say like you can put the number below it and run the code again. It will not going to do that because it will first of all print it. It will do it like because it says is going to print 1 in the starting. In the starting, yeah, there is 1 in the starting, but you are still wrong because it will do this thing, whatever that is inside it. It will print it, it will increment it, then it will check Implementation has been done before the condition. That is the major difference in do while as well as while loop. But there is a for loop as well. There is no difference in for loop and while loop. It's exactly the same. Only difference that you will see is the syntax. For example, the syntax is uh, number equal to 1. You need to do initialization before. Over here it should be initialization. I'm not going to do initialization over here. You can, but you don't need to. You're going to initialize it over here, putting a semicolon, and give the condition now. If the number should be more than 1, or number should be more than 1. Yeah. Or 0 for to test it, and we will number plus 2 and increment it over here. This is the condition. Okay, it will do it like this. This is the syntax, and if you want to learn about the working of for loop, you can go and check out in that playlist. I explained it a little in detail, working of for loop. You can go and check that out also. Okay, now what it will do, you're going to put initially the syntax is for loop. In the first of all, first parameter is going to be initialization, second condition, third implementation or decrementation, whatever the action is happening to change that particular number, so the condition changes the result. So the result of a condition can change. Only that. Okay. So here is that for loop. You can go and test that out. Just try to make some programs with try to understand all of the basics, this kind of code stuff, and just that's what for now. There's a lot to learn today, so just I gave you a to-do program to do. So just go and try that program out, and now we'll start learning about other stuff like pointers, arrays. Actually, pointers, everyone says like pointer is difficult. It's actually extremely easy and amazing stuff. Actually, I don't know, maybe I can't explain it that much better in this video because there is not much time to go and check that video regarding pointers in my playlist series. You go and check that out. Link will be in description. It will, I'll on the I button I can give you that over there, and it will help you understand literally about a lot about your system, about your RAM, about your memory, how program works, how they store the mem of this, how cache works, cache, where the cache stores, all that major kind of small things, but extremely important. So we learn them. So let's see. This is what we learned for loop. Yeah, you can also do it like it is not compulsory. Like, these two conditions are compulsory. These two should be compulsory. You can do it like if you don't have you can just do it like this. Now it will show a scenario, but you can put it over there. That's what we can't do here, but we can do it in here. Okay, number, sorry, you can put it over there. We are initializing it, we are putting addition. This is not actually that important to be here, but this semicolon is, sorry, you can put it also over there like we did in while loop. You can also do it over here if you want to do. Okay, it's not that much major stuff. So okay, so after that we are going to learn arrays, pointer, functions. These are the main stuff we are left with, and we are also going to learn about a very interesting topic that no one talks much about. And extremely important, that is namespaces. Extremely important, extremely fun topic. We are going to learn that also. So these are the four topics we are left with. We will learn them. Alright, so we are done with loops, conditions, and all stuff. Now we are done. So over here we will create wait, let's see. Let's start. I had the whole code, so learn about function. Function is a very interesting and very easy thing. Nothing is just complex. It's just simple thing. Like that's why I'm writing whole code to explain you. This is what you remember from last. Okay. Now Please remember this a lot. Please tell me what this code is going to print. Let's see. It didn't print anything, it's just a blank line, nothing is there. Now, what if I comment it out and write their code to code? What's the deal with it? It is showing us an error, and let's check out the error and expected a declaration. It is showing us an expected a declaration, means return is not declared. But same way here, he didn't show us any error. Means this return keyword is only going to work inside a function. We are going to say, okay, so first if we just use directly a print function, let's try it out. Nothing has just random stuff. Still, there is another. What's that? The declaration has no storage class or type specified. Sorry. So same with it as well as same with it. Alright. Now this whole thing is only going to work inside our main function. I will say okay if we make some another function like this. Actually it's the main function but we name it like something like one. It is going to work. You don't know anything. You just name the function as main because it is a trend and you can name it as main. You want to whatever you want to you can. But over here main means it is a main function. We use the separate over the function or other function as some another name. Now here you are going to see a white. It's also data type. So want to know all about every single thing. If you watch my previous tutorial series or the 7 videos, maybe you know that. Now let's talk about it. Here integer, we are defining that this main function. If it will be like if you don't use this and do something like this or just add something value do it or just this. It is not gonna work. It's gonna give us an error. But if we do it like this, and it is going to take this main as an variable. Okay, so this main as an variable. So we use this thing to make it that if it's a function. Alright. So there are not only one type of there. You can add any other std strings, right? Like this. This is in new C++. Now if you are in older, you can use that, or you can just mean just this. Void is there, integer is there, integer 64 is there, maybe 64 T is there. There are a lot of them are there. So we usually use integer or void. Now let's see. When I put a void, it shows an error. But what if I just reset 0? It is showing none. If we put it as null, everyone knows a null. Null, it is still showing us an error, like because this function is of type void, and void means empty. Void means void, empty, no, nothing like. Well, how can I explain void? Void, everyone knows void. So void means void, and we can't use any of this null because null is null data type. If I use it like null means this error has been solved, but this isn't because of null. We can't use it as in data type, so it shows them another error. That's why we use this int, and if I go with integer, we can put any of integer. We can return any integer. If we go to char, we can return any vector. Like I don't know, it's like a string, and character you can return if you want to go to string. It will you can just return it as string and then string, or we can another way we can use it like this. This is going to show us an error. Like this, it's not going to show us an error. Maybe this. I don't know why. Let's test it out. Return value type. Okay, let's see. Yeah, see, on char 5. we get like constant character. Now it is the const, it means the const means constant. It is constant, can't be changed. Okay, so this is the whole thing that I want to explain. Like this is how the functions work. This is a return is a keyword that we have figured inside our function. So okay, now let's try to prevent, like for example, if I want to print something like this, print, or like I want to use a Python syntax print, and then hope this is Python syntax. Okay, this is for example, you can't do it is not practical way. Okay? It's just an example that I'm showing you. It's not just an error. Like identify print is undefined. What if we define the print? Right? What if we define the print? What just said it? Oh, yeah. Close it. Save it. We just did it. We just import math, and this is the main.h file. Having including this. We don't need that. We're going to learn about headers later on. Not in this video. Now print. Print is there the string. Okay. Let's see. std string or just const character. It will be more practical way to define a function. Print. Now you can see this is a print function. Now it is showing us another error, which is too many arguments in function call. This is we use this to call a function. We call a function. Here we define a function. Here we are calling. Now it shows us there's a lot of parameters, arguments or parameters. So same thing. So how we can create a parameter or arguments? We can name it like there. Let's say r something like that. String, so like that. Okay, now we are not seeing any error because here we are creating arguments or parameters, whatever you like. Here parameter we just share us, here arguments. Okay, so for example I can create another one like an integer number, something like that. Now it's showing us, and again an error. We can see whenever I try to write something, it defines me the whole function thing. Like this is a function, there is a constant which is string that we already, there is a number integer that we can add there like that. Now it will not show us, and we can add any number of arguments in there, any number of whatever you want. So we can just make it simple as this. Just put there, and we will return str like everyone did. Now what if I try to run the program? It didn't show us anything. But why? I write every single line code is correctly and no error, then why we are not seeing it? Because the reason is we just call that function, and this function is returning the string whatever we put in there. Means the value of this is the string that we pass to it. Means if I do the value equal to that, or const this thing, and put the function, what are the value, whatever that is going to determine here the value is going to put inside the value, and we can just out it. You can just out it. Okay, as simple as that. Now we are going to see string. Here's the string. What if we run the code? Now it shows us that thing, but now what you are going to create a new value, a variable, and defining a function which has been getting stored into somewhere in the RAM, and then you are getting a value variable which is storing the value of that print and storing it in somewhere in the, also in the RAM. It is not playing in there, overwriting it, it's showing it somewhere else in the RAM, and then we are going to printing it. It will also be so much slow. This program is going to be a lot more slower, and it is going to take a lot of RAM. So how does that? And even in the small version it is not that good, but you're going to write over here a lot of code, now let's decrease the lines of code from here. It was the previous code is this. Let's change it. What we can do is just taking this and putting it inside the value, because we are just putting a variable where whatever value that this function will return, we are putting it into a variable and then we are printing that variable. But why do we need a variable? We can directly use that. It is a good approach. Oh, right. No, it is actually a good approach and it is working, but this is also not a very good approach, because if there is a little of stuff, you can do it like this. But if there is a lot of arguments that you're going to, first of all, you're going to do this, and after that, inside the function, you're going to pass a lot of arguments, and it will be like a whole very mess. To fix that, what we can do is, instead of getting it over here, instead of returning the value, we can just put it there and this code over there, just as it will also work. Okay, it will also work as it is. Because so there's one failed. Oh, okay. Now we are going to make it a void, because we are not returning any value and just printing it. So we are not returning, so we can make it void and it will work like this. Okay, fine. Alright, so let's see. This is a basic function. Now your work is to, your project for this is going to be to do is create a function to uh, to return the sum of to return the cube of to return the cube to return the cubic cube of some input given by a given by a cube. This is your work to be done. This is your project, another project that you need to do now. And these are compulsory. If you really want to become a good programmer, you need to do it and transform and send me, not transfer, send me to GitHub or Gmail, whatever, from wherever you feel right. Just write the code and send it to me. I will review it. I will tell you how you can improve it. What's the matter if you like, even if you are not getting some errors you're not figuring out, so just don't worry, tell me. I will fix them for you. I will teach you about that. Our channel is basically just giving and taking. I am giving something to you, and on the behalf of that I'm taking something from you. Like, we are teaching each other a lot of stuff. So this is how my channel works actually, and going to work in future now. So this is your in the program. Now we are going to learn. We actually completed the function. Just that's what a function is. If you want it built in detail, so you can go and check that 7 videos to make you more clear about this. Or we don't have much time, so we are doing it a bit faster. Now we are going to learn about array. A very, very important thing. Array. Array. This is an array. For example, the data is the same like it an integer array of name a equal to putting some values in it and more. Just sorry. Name and we're done. Sorry, this is not syntax, this is syntax. Okay. Here we get it in a normal variable, but we put this brackets, which means array. Now there are a lot of different ways to create an array. This is not this. Sorry, it's this. Okay. Now we are not seeing any error, which is good. We are not only this is not only the way of reading it. You can just go to count or just count a and book. Now you're going to see I don't use STL, which is a standard library. Without that I can't call these functions. But there is another method that you can use, is using namespace std. Now see, we fixed it. And while we are learning about the namespaces, after this we are going to learn about the pointers, and then we are going to learn, actually we are not going to learn about pointers, we are actually going to learn about the namespaces. Pointers, if you want to learn about pointers, which is a very important, a very easy topic. I don't know why it's that underrated. Everyone thinking it is a difficult way, but it is not that difficult if you want it to learn that very easily. So there's a video onto that playlist. The link is in the description, in the I button, you can see there, and you can go and just download, sorry, not download, just check out that, and you can learn a wonder in just half an hour and master the pointers, something like that. Okay, so let's see. After that, when we are going to learn about the MCC, we are going to see this, and what is it an optimal way, or previous one is an optimal way. Also, we'll discuss about, and we're also going to talk about that. We're not going to discuss about whatever you want to know. Call it as. Okay. Now, this is not only one way. First of all, let's see, is it working and how is it working. See, it just shows 0, and some freaking value. I don't know what this value is. We don't put any value like that. What if put this? String is an arrow, but even though it's 0. And this arrow is working at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this. The array index, this is an index, we're putting here a whole index number 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whatever value you can put, and start from 0 and whatever you want onto this index. Okay. Now what should it print? It is 0. That's what at the index 0 is. Now if I go to 1, let's run it. We should see 1. Okay. Now there's another way of writing in this, which we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There are actually 5 of them. So we are going to write the 5. See, we don't did any, we don't got any, we just put 5, we just run the program to run as similar as that, no different. But what if I try to add one more value to it? It shows an error, which is too many. Initialize the value. Initialize the value. If you are specifying it, you can't add more than 5 values. That is considered only for consist only 5 or 5 values, but you are adding 6 of them, so it will not consider that. This is an error. You can use it as there, or you can, what you can do is you can just choose it as empty, doesn't matter how much value you are putting in it, you can. And there is like just this is a whole ways of getting an array. Maybe is there any another way that you can use for the arrays? Maybe I don't think so. These are the more only the ways. Okay, now your work is to, there's also something that you have to do, is to create a function which will create a function which will sorry which will create a function which will return the whole array. It will return the whole array. Okay, just create a function which will return a whole array. Now you have to figure that out. Don't try to cheat, just try to figure that out how you can print a whole array. This is a function that you need to do. And there's also one thing. Now after completing this, unless or until you don't complete this, first of all you need to complete this. Doesn't matter if it works or not, just send it to me, and after that go to next step. Otherwise it's going to be a cheat. You need to try to learn about for each loop, for each loop. Just try to learn about for each loop by yourself. And now you can say I just told you before, like there are only 3 kind of loops. while loop, for loop, just these. But now, from where the hell for each loop came from, you need to understand about that. You need to learn about that by your own, and let's see how you are going to do that and create a function that create a program that will use this for each loop, and just it's a basically completely your choice, whatever you want to do, just use your creativity and send it to me. I will review it and let's see what you guys are going to send me. So these are the this is just whole array thing. Is arrays are actually very simple. Array is actually a data set, means we can just put one variable inside the array. We can put a lot larger data in just a single variable, and we can transfer it dynamically, or we can create it statically. And if you want a video on statically and what is the difference between static and dynamic content, just tell me in the comment section. I will make one video on that. And okay, so that's it for now. So we are going to learn about namespaces. What are namespaces? It is a very cool and easy way to define the data. We will learn it. Okay. So now we will learn about the namespaces further on. So that's why now. Let's see. Alright, so now we are left with only namespaces, and after learning of the namespaces, we are going to close the tutorial, and that's it for this video. So let's start learning about the namespaces. And first of all, what is a namespace? Namespace, we just use namespaces in header files mainly while we are working with header files. But currently I'm working with header files, but it is also a very important lesson. Like, if in short, I want to tell you, like, it is a flowchart. A flowchart, if I try to explain you a flowchart, let me explain you the flowchart. Um, it is going to be like, first of all, variable. Wait, and variable. Wait, new one. Don't say it. It's not working. Yeah, not good. It's fine. Variable. First of all, variable. And with the variable. After the variable, it comes with our functions. After the functions, we come up with our classes, and or you can make it like or name spaces, or you can do it like reverse, vice versa. Whatever you want first, you can. Whatever you want secondary, you can. But variable, we use this variable to store a particular value. But we use this function to store a particular code. Classes, or we can say namespaces, we use these three to show a particular functions. Okay, now what is the optimal way? First of all, we should use namespaces or classes. It depends on the person. It varies person to person. Like, according to me, I go with namespaces separately and classes separately. But how I am going to use them is, if there are mainly major core functions, I am just going to use the namespace, and inside the namespace they will be my core functions. Core functions. Just that. Okay, that is. But uh, while we are working on a big project and classes are included there, that we are inheriting a lot of different classes, and a class inherits some class, and that particular class also inherits a different class. It is a bunch of mess. Okay, so how it is going to help us? What we can do is you can create a namespace. Like you can create a particular namespace. Here's a namespace. Inside the namespace, you can put a class, or you can get a class, and inside the class you can add a namespace. Whatever you a namespace and then a class. For example, like I created a namespace called core, and there is a class name, and inside the core this is a core main build stuff, and inside there is we created a class. For example, let's take an example of a game engine, and there's a core stuff means core backend stuff, and but there is a class as a level design class or level builder, something like that. Level builder is the level builder class inside the core namespace. How we are going to call it? We are going to call it something like core and that particular class like level uh something whatever that is. We can dot and then the function whatever we are going to run, or we can just say it like this, two semicolons. And maybe I didn't use this much, this syntax much, but I'm confused about like the dot is, I'm sure it works, but me, does this thing works in this? I don't know. And maybe I'm gonna try it out in this particular lesson, so let's try it out. For example, we just hit a name this, and we're also going to learn about this. Why should we use it and why shouldn't we use it? Okay, what's up with it? For example, we created a namespace. Let's go. This is the syntax namespace, and uh, this namespace is going to have a class. If not know what class is, so doesn't matter. It is just a basic thing, you can just go and figure that out. It is going to be too much easy for you to understand what the class is. The main class is inheriting and all other stuff is going to be a bit difficult. And I don't prefer you to learn that from the C++. It's going to be a bit difficult. It doesn't mean like you can't, you can do it. Just go and figure that out from yourself. You can also do that. Or if you didn't get that, just go in the comment section. Feel free to just comment that you want to learn more about classes, so I can make a particular video on that. So here's the class. We can name it like basic class, like what we level editor, something like that. Level editor class, and inside the level editor class there is a void function. Void function is the load editor, and there's one more function which is save editor, save or just reset editor, something like that. So we have two functions, reset editor and load editor. Now writing of the functions, we can just out loading editor, paste the code there, and instead of there resetting editor. Okay, now what we can do is code editor reset editor. Will it work? No, it didn't work. What if I add a dot? Yeah. Well, now do dot level editor dot. What is the problem with it? I is not doing it. Code declared as a member 15, a non-static member. Oh, it should be a static void. That's why we are getting that error. Okay. Four. Um. 100 did much in classes in C++, so yes, I'm also a bit again it. I don't know why it's not working. Like I told you, I just use namespace and then the main function on other classes, or I just use them separately. Code level into class code level editor. Reset level or load level. Just an example. To call a function inside a class inside the name space in C++. Let's try to figure that out. There's a namespace, this, boom, and boom. A namespace, then a class, and a public. Oh man, that's a problem. Okay, I got that. I got that. I was not able to do that. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. Oh, further out. Okay. Okay. Let's see. What is I need to put there a public. This functions are public. Anyone can call them. Okay. No, they want. It is like. Ah, see. It actually showed us the level. That was right. Okay, it is this. Inside that is this, but it is not static. Going to run this code, and boom, it works. Now, what we understand with this is like we are there a lot of us while running with naming with a normal RAM memory or allocation or whatever it is allocated, we are placing the name with that is a lot of mess. That's why we use variables, and using a lot of variables and a lot of code in just without and commenting stuff is also a mess. So we are discovered functions. Now creating a lot of functions is also a mess, so we figure that out about the namespace as well as the classes, whatever we want to do that. We just figure that out, so we can just, this is the optimal way that I prefer you to use. We learned about the classes which help us to stay our whole code, whole functions inside it, and we learned about the namespaces, so we can vary it into a particular category or namespace. We can define it like a code or whatever we want. Okay, so this is what a namespace is. So this is a syntax, and this is the code. This is just basically, this is what a normal namespace does. It's not that complex, it's very easy. Just try to use it a bit and you can do it. Look, don't forget to complete all the clues that I give you and send me on my mail. Just mail me on mail will be in description, or you can just go and comment me out the particular GitHub link or that particular project. And that's it for now. This is a whole video. Here we learned C++ very quickly, and in a very optimal way, that as much fast as I can I teach you C++ with a lot of new stuff. So that's it for now, guys. Just goodbye, and now just just join the channel if you want, really, if you really want to learn. And just prefer, just comment me if you want some other language to learn or some other technology you want to learn. Comment me if it will interest me. I will definitely going to teach you that. So that's it. Bye bye.